Mysticism in Ancient Greece. Welcome to Inner Stillness, a space of tranquility where we explore profound stories and philosophies from ancient civilizations. In today's video, I invite you to embark on a fascinating journey through the wisdom of the ancients, where the mystical concepts of the past can illuminate our modern lives. Together, we will dive into the stories and mysterious rituals of ancient Greece, where great philosophers uncovered grand theories about life, death, and the cosmos. These philosophies are not merely lessons recorded in books, but treasures of wisdom that have the power to transform the way we perceive the world and ourselves. Big questions such as, what is the meaning of life? What is death? And what is our connection to the vast universe? Were explored and answered by Greek sages through mystical practices and deep meditation. What's fascinating is that these ancient philosophies are not confined to the past. They still hold great value and can help us live a mindful, peaceful, and meaningful life in today's modern world. As life becomes increasingly noisy and busy, the teachings of ancient masters can serve as a guiding light, helping us reconnect with our true nature and find peace in every present moment. So, are you ready to explore these mystical concepts? Let's begin our journey into the timeless truths of human wisdom. The concept of mysticism and the mystical. Before we delve into the mystical stories of ancient civilizations, let's take a moment to explore the concept of mysticism or the mystical, a term originating from the Greek word mystikos, meaning to conceal. In ancient Greece, this concept was not merely about things that are difficult to explain, but was deeply connected to direct experiences of the divine, a kind of wisdom that transcends ordinary reasoning. In ancient Greek thought, it was believed that the world was not simply what we could perceive through our senses, but contained invisible depths that could only be accessed through mystical experiences and mysticism. The secrets of the universe were not always explainable by science or logic, but had to be directly experienced and deeply felt through a finer sense, beyond the normal limits of the intellect. In later Christian tradition, Pseudo-Dionysius, a theologian and philosopher, expanded this concept, transforming it into an integral part of theological philosophy. According to him, accessing the divine was not merely theoretical but should be a practical experience, a direct encounter with the sacred. This wasn't just a search for knowledge through books, but an invitation to live and experience the divine in one's daily life. However, when we return to the roots of mysticism in ancient Greece, we find that followers of this school did not simply seek knowledge through theory. They sought supernatural experiences and altered states of consciousness to access higher knowledge about the nature of the universe. These practitioners believed that to truly understand the wonders of life, one had to transcend the limits of ordinary intellect and step into a sacred space where the great truths about the cosmos and existence were revealed. Perhaps, we are living in a modern world with remarkable advancements in technology, science, and reason. Today's tools allow us to explore and explain everything around us, from natural phenomena to creative inventions. However, at times, I feel that what we refer to as superstition or mysticism might actually be unexplored depths of the spiritual realm, dimensions of existence that science and logic have yet to fully comprehend. In our daily lives, as we are consumed by work and material concerns, we may overlook the deep sensations within ourselves and the world around us. We may ignore the unseen connections that bind us all together as we become overly dependent on reason and material possessions. The mystical experiences and spiritual insights that were once central to human understanding have become distant and even dismissed. Perhaps, if we pause for a moment and listen deeply within, we will realize that these mystical teachings are not strange or inexplicable. They are, in fact, essential parts of our humanity that we have lost in the rush of time and technology. The wisdom that the ancient masters taught about profound connections to the cosmos, mindfulness, and mystical experiences could very well be the key to living a fuller, more meaningful life in today's modern world. Ancient mystical practices. One prominent example of mystical practices in the ancient world is the Oracle of Delphi, where the oracles underwent extremely intense, altered states of consciousness to receive prophecies from the gods. Delphi, considered the center of the ancient world, was not only a sacred site, but also the location of special mystical rituals designed to connect humans with the divine. In these rituals, the oracles, known as Pythia, were believed to be women capable of communicating directly with the gods. Before delivering prophecies, Pythia would enter a trance-like state, which might have been induced by inhaling vapors from the earth or simply through deep meditation and focus. Ancient texts record that Pythia would fall into a state of ecstasy, overwhelmed by the experience, and from this state, she could receive and convey the prophecies of the gods. These prophecies, while often vague and cryptic, had a tremendous influence on kings, warriors, and the people of ancient Greece. People believed that these states were not madness or loss of control, but rather a deep connection with the invisible world, where universal wisdom could be transmitted. This was one of the ways the ancients understood expanding their minds to receive knowledge beyond the limitations of ordinary reason. In addition, other mystical practices in ancient times included sacred rituals from schools like Orpheism and the Eleusinian Mysteries. These rituals were not only designed to awaken wisdom, but also to elevate the spirit and create a direct connection with the divine and the unseen world. Mystical practices in ancient civilizations often involved meditation, dancing, the use of herbs, and special ceremonial acts, all aimed at altering consciousness to achieve enlightenment. Imagine a moment in your life when you truly let go of yourself in a quiet space. It might be when you're meditating or simply standing amidst nature, feeling in harmony with the earth and sky. In such moments, you may experience things that your intellect cannot explain, yet they are deeply important in the awakening of your spirit. These are the mystical experiences that each of us can have, even if we don't always fully recognize them. When we create space for stillness, free from the noise of daily life, we may enter a state of expanded consciousness, similar to what the oracles of Delphi experienced. These moments allow us to break free from the control of reason and open our hearts to profound insights that ordinary intellect cannot explain. This is how we connect with the unexplored depths of spirituality and open the doors to understanding that can only be felt when we allow ourselves to harmonize with the universe, nature, and our true selves. Mystery cults, the secret beliefs. Mystery cults were one of the most popular forms of worship in ancient Greece, where participants not only learned but also underwent mystical rituals to achieve spiritual awakening. These beliefs were often linked to sacred ceremonies that were shrouded in secrecy, reserved only for initiates, creating a sacred space where participants could connect directly with supernatural forces. One of the most famous of these mystery religions was the Eleusinian Mysteries, held annually in Eleusis, a city near Athens. This ceremony attracted thousands of participants. The ritual was not only a form of worship, but also a spiritual journey, a transformative process where participants were invited to experience death and rebirth in a profound way. In the Eleusinian Mysteries, participants went through a ritualistic process called rebirth. They would symbolically die and then revive, experiencing a deep sense of liberation from death. For them, death was not the end but part of the eternal cycle of life. Through this process, they would understand that death is not something to fear, but a natural part of the continuous cycle of life that everyone must go through. During the ritual, participants felt a deep connection with the universe, with their own rebirth, and an awareness of the impermanence of life. These mystery rituals not only gave people a new perspective on death, but also on life. After undergoing the rituals, participants would realize that death is an inevitable part of existence, and there is no need to fear it. In fact, this understanding helped them live more mindfully, accepting death as a natural part of life, which brought peace and tranquility to their souls. Death has always been one of those topics we tend to avoid discussing, but when viewed through the lens of ancient rituals, death is not something to fear. For those who participated in rituals like the Eleusinian Mysteries, death was not the end but an integral part of transformation and rebirth. They not only understood the impermanence of life, but also found peace in accepting death as a natural part of the cosmic order. We can learn a lot from these ancient practices. If we face death not with fear, but with understanding and acceptance, perhaps we can live more fully and peacefully, finding tranquility in every moment of our lives. Death is an inevitable part of life, and only when we accept it can we truly live fully and meaningfully. The story of miracles and altered states of consciousness. Plutarch, a famous philosopher of ancient Greece, once shared his experience of participating in the rituals at Eleusis. He described the feeling of being engulfed in darkness, losing all sense of direction, and then suddenly being illuminated by a mystical light, where he felt the eternity of the universe. He explained that in this altered state of consciousness, one not only became aware of the boundless nature of the cosmos, but also felt a profound connection with both life and death, an understanding of the eternal. Plutarch believed that through such altered states, humans could transcend the limitations of ordinary reasoning and gain access to a higher truth. He argued that these states of trance were not moments of losing control, but were opportunities for profound awakening. They not only allowed the participants to grasp the vastness of the universe, but also helped them find peace, no longer fearing death. When the mind was freed from the constraints of ordinary reasoning, one could touch the deeper aspects of existence, where life and death no longer held fear. What is fascinating in this story is the transformation of the participants from a state of unconsciousness and loss of control to a deep awakening. It is in these hazy and unclear moments that we can find our inner light, just as the ancient philosophers once experienced. In the moments when everything becomes blurry and uncertain, that is when we have the opportunity to expand our minds and realize that the greatest truths often lie not in the clarity of reason, but in an understanding that can only be attained through experiences beyond theory and analysis. Just as Plutarch described, sometimes we must lose ourselves to find the truth. In those moments when reason no longer controls everything, we can sense the eternal and the peace that transcends all anxiety. Like the ancient mystical rituals, these experiences might be difficult to comprehend, but they are an essential part of each person's awakening journey. The stories of mysticism in ancient Greece show us that the path to truth is not only through reason, but also through direct experience. The mystical rituals helped individuals find liberation and a profound understanding of life and death. Although these experiences may seem strange or unfamiliar to us, they carry immense value in connecting people with themselves and the universe. I believe that, in today's world, we can learn a lot from these philosophies. By living more mindfully, we can find peace and understanding not only through reason, but also through deep experiences with ourselves and the world around us. Just like the followers of ancient rituals, we too can find spiritual connection and awakening through sacred moments in life, through real-life experiences that sometimes all we need to do is open our hearts to feel. We live in a busy world, where intellect and work seem to dominate. But when we take the time to slow down, to observe deeply, and to stay mindful, we can realize that ancient philosophies can still illuminate our paths in this modern world. From these mystical stories, we can find awakening and a deep connection to both ourselves and the universe, which will help us lead a more meaningful, fulfilling, and harmonious life. Remember, as seekers of knowledge, we do not only find understanding through books or theoretical knowledge, but sometimes through direct experiences, quiet moments, and harmony with the wonders of the world around us. Thank you for watching the video from Inner Stillness. I hope these reflections help you find your path to awakening and peace in your life.